This is grand!
You shan't disappoint them, will you? So, who would like to ask the first question?
Me! What's it mean that witches are lecturers?
It means that due to our mutations, we have an overdeveloped libido.
Libido?
When a girl likes a witcher, the witcher says, "What'll you give me for killing a monster?" And she says, "Anything you want." So the witcher says, "Heh heh heh. Then you'll give me something you weren't expecting at all." And that's where little witches come from.
Children, what's the meaning of this? Next question.
Is it true witches kill kings?
A man cursed who's turned into a monster, a witcher might have to kill, even if he's a king.
So King Foltest was a monster?
What's it like to cut off someone's head?
Can you show us how to cut off a head?
Can we try your potions?
Enough! That is all for today. Gather your things and I shall see you in the morning.
Yeah!
Bid farewell to Master Geralt.
It's great you came.
I'd have rather had the rat catcher.
So please do tell me, why are you here?
I know you saw Dandelion recently.
Oh yes, longest afternoon of my life.
He read you his poems.
No, we perused the illustrated guide to fungi.
Maybe... No. Won't even try to guess why he wanted to do that.
Mold. That was his interest. When his hand abandoned my knee to point at a figure of penicillium, I knew the fire between us had died. Permanently.
Found a poem Dandelion wrote about you. Portrayed you as an unusually talented individual.
Really? Did he mention my poetry? Horses have always fascinated me. I've always longed to extol their noble beauty. Did you see any of my work at Dandelion's? Mere exercises, true, but I'd be curious to know what you thought of them.
No. Didn't see any.
Gee up! The snakely whip rose skyward. Gee-haw! Crack! She reined the beast in. The stallion danced betwixt her thighs. Lather bathed its chinny chin.
Sorry, don't know much about poetry. Thanks for your help. Farewell.
wanted to wear the duvets.
Mr. Woods.
This Baronet's La Vallette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Greetings, Witcher. Must admit it's curious to see you here. I don't quite believe in coincidences.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of monsters, and my son.
You're right, General. My visit's no accident. I'm looking for someone.
There's no one here who wishes to see you. Captain, this man is not to enter. Forgive me, Morvran, but I've lost my appetite for the races.
Kill a woman's son and appear at her doorstep? My. I thought witches had better survival skills than that.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
I fear your information's out of date. Molly no longer works here.
Seem to know who Molly is. You also know she doesn't work here anymore. Know where I can find her, maybe?
This time of day? Probably sipping punch and considering which horse to bet on.
Not in the mood for jokes.
I jest you not. After Arian's demise, Louise's nephew came to pay his respects. Got one glance of Molly and, well, they wed soon after. They now await his inheritance. With the Baroness's son dead, the estate will go to the nephew and Lady Latar, known until recently simply as Molly.
All right, so where'll I find the newly minted Lady Latar?
Our dear little Molly has a new passion, horse racing. To my knowledge, she should be at Countess Vegelbud's villa right now. That's exactly where I'm going. Since you stripped me of Louise's company, perhaps you'd agree to come along.
Think I can find my own way to the Vegelbud home.
Very well. Perhaps I can convince you to join me later at the races. I shall keep an eye out for you.
Did you catch him?
No, driving in slippery the
In the power of this flame.
Scrambled out the hole in the back wall.
Remember, sounds like you might have been knackered. One force can do more evil than 1,000 believers can do good. Ears open and eyes peeled. For evil never sleeps.
It's a material world, and I'm a material girl. Hey, darling, like what you see?
Radovid's not a whit better than Emir. Might even be worse.
Stare any harder and your eyes will...
What do you want?
Rosavar Atra's expecting me. Supposed to give her lessons in swordplay.
Come with me. Miss Rosa awaits. Won't you realise what you've got yourself into?
I hope so too.
Miss Rosa's got a downright beastly temper. Shows no mercy once she...
Grab a wooden one, and take care not to hurt the little miss, or you'll earn the ambassador's ire.
Follow me.
You're my new instructor. Well, well, Papa clearly went out of his way this time. Wood, to start with. I must know your worth.
Come on, come closer.
Stop flaunting and fight!
Oh, come on!
Why bother with two swords when you can barely handle one? Damn it! Well fought. You're much better than the last one.
I'm not actually your swordplay instructor.
Really? Then who are you? And how on earth did you get in?
I'm a witcher. I'm looking
A witcher? That's splendid. I always wanted to meet a witcher. This is so exciting.
Incredibly. But we ought to discuss that another time. Came to ask about your rhetoric tutor, Dandelion.
Rhetoric tutor? Good one. That is why Papa hired him, but not at all what the bard had in mind. He mostly played his lute and sang for us. I believe he thought he was wooing.
Mean he wasn't? But you had some sort of relationship?
If you call him chasing after me a relationship. Even so, there was nothing between us. Seems my sisters had a bit of fun at our expense. But enough chatter. Stand and fight. I demand a rematch.
Come on, come closer.
You're quick.
Oh!
Stop flaunting and fight!